The world can feel like a pretty dark place sometimes, can it? There's injustice, suffering, and decisions made by leaders that leave us feeling disheartened and hopeless. It's easy to get caught up in the chaos and feel like everything's falling apart. Yet amidst all this, there's a story that continues to echo through time, reminding us of the power of faith and the unwavering nature of divine promises. A story we all know, the story of Noah's Ark. Imagine, if you will, a world consumed by corruption and violence, a world that had strayed so far from righteousness that God decided to start anew. In the midst of this moral decay, there was Noah, a man who walked faithfully with God. He was a beacon of righteousness in a world that had forgotten what it meant to live with integrity. Noah's story, found in the book of Genesis, chapters 6 through 9, is more than just a captivating tale. It's a mirror reflecting the state of the world at that time. A world marred by wickedness and sin. Noah's actions stood in stark contrast to the prevailing culture, setting him apart as someone who valued righteousness over compromise. One of the most striking aspects of Noah's story is his choice to walk with God despite being surrounded by ungodliness. Noah lived uprightly in a world that had veered off course. This teaches us that when the world throws its worst at you, standing firm in your beliefs becomes more important than ever. It's a call to resist the urge to conform to worldly standards, especially when they go against our deepest held values. The key to understanding Noah's actions lies in his relationship with God. Noah walked with God, a phrase that implies a close, intimate connection. This wasn't just a casual acquaintance. It was a bond rooted in shared values, mutual respect, and a deep understanding of each other's hearts and intentions. This closeness with God gave Noah the strength to make difficult choices, particularly when he was faced with the task of building an ark. Building an ark was no small feat. It was an enormous project that demanded meticulous attention to detail and unwavering dedication. It involved cutting down massive trees, assembling gigantic pieces of wood, and creating compartments for an assortment of animals. All of this was done with the expectation that it would one day be needed, even though it might not be clear why or when. This aspect of Noah's story teaches us about the nature of faith. Building the ark didn't make sense from a human perspective. It wasn't logical or immediately beneficial. Yet Noah trusted God's word enough to commit himself fully to the task. As Noah diligently worked on the ark, the world continued to spin. Seasons changed, the sun rose and set, and life went on as usual. But beneath the surface, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. The animals began to arrive, drawn by some instinct to the site of the ark. The skies grew darker, the winds grew stronger, and the rains came pouring down, ushering in a new chapter in the history of the world. During the 40 days and 40 nights of rain, the world as they knew it ceased to exist. The familiar landmarks were gone, replaced by a vast expanse of water. The noise of the rain, the wind, and the receding of the waters created a symphony of sound that marked the end of one era and the beginning of another. It was a world washed clean, ready to receive new life. In the midst of this deluge, the ark became a symbol of hope. It stood tall against the raging waters, a beacon of safety and refuge for Noah, his family, and the animals. Inside the ark, it was a different world. The air was filled with the sounds of chirping birds, the bleating of sheep, the roar of lions, and the gentle murmur of Noah's family. They were safe, secure, and sustained by the provisions that Noah had prepared. As the waters receded and the earth began to dry, a new world emerged. It was a world that bore the scars of the flood, but also the promise of a fresh start. The ark, once a symbol of turmoil, now represented rebirth and renewal. Upon stepping out of the ark, Noah performed a simple yet profound action. He built an altar and made offerings. This wasn't just a ritual. It was a gesture of gratitude, a thank you to God for saving him, his family, and the animals. It was a moment of acknowledging God's faithfulness and reaffirming their covenant. And then came the sign, the one that has echoed through human history, the rainbow. When Noah saw the rainbow in the sky, he understood that he was witnessing a sign of God's promise, a promise to never again destroy the earth by flood. It was a reminder that while judgment had come, God's heart was full of mercy and compassion. The story of Noah's Ark isn't just a relic of the past. It holds profound relevance for us today. In our ever-changing world, we often find ourselves navigating through storms of our own. Storms that may seem, just like Noah's world, overwhelming, disheartening, and filled with uncertainty. However, the story of Noah offers us a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of faith and the enduring nature of divine promises. Noah's journey mirrors our own in many ways. He faced challenges that seemed insurmountable, made decisions that defied logic, and endured trials that tested his spirit. Yet throughout it all, he held on to his faith in God. In a world where it seems like darkness is winning, where problems appear to have no solutions, and where despair threatens to consume us, Noah's story serves as a reminder. A reminder that there is always hope, that even in the face of overwhelming odds, faith can prevail, and that divine promises once made are eternally binding. In today's society, it can feel like we're living in our own version of Noah's world. The world can seem dark and confusing. When we look at the news or social media, it's easy to become overwhelmed by the constant barrage of negative information. Whether it's political turmoil, environmental concerns, economic instability, or social unrest, it's hard to ignore the challenges that confront us daily. Yet amidst this chaos, the story of Noah serves as a beacon of hope. It reminds us that even in the darkest of times, there is always a glimmer of light. Just as Noah and his family found solace and safety in the ark, we too can find refuge in our faith. It's important to remember that you're not alone in this journey. Reach out to your friends, your family, your community. Lean on the support of those who uplift you and share your burdens with them. Together, you can weather any storm. Never let yourself get trapped in the cycle of hopelessness. Always remember the story of Noah. Let his journey inspire you to hold on to hope, to trust in divine promises, and to remain steadfast in your pursuit of a better tomorrow. If this message has resonated with you, we invite you to show your support by giving this video a thumbs up, sharing it with your friends, and leaving a comment below with your thoughts or experiences. Your engagement helps us continue to spread messages of hope and faith. Thank you for joining us today. May the story of Noah's Ark be a guiding light in your life, a reminder that even in the face of life's storms, there is always hope for a brighter tomorrow. Until next time, may God bless you and keep you in his loving embrace.